that do better on drugs and alcohol. They're actually effective, and it doesn't hurt their lives. And there's no way to study that, but if they could, there's obviously people that drink and do drugs that need to go into Alcoholics Anonymous and need to get off it.
They're disasters.
But there's other people that it actually kind of helps them.
Jimmy just gave me the bedroom eyes, I think. Oh, that's right. He was staring at me.
But there's, if you read the William Manchester biography of Winston Churchill. I'm reading all these biographies. I'm turning into my dad. I'm reading these biographies about once I start getting to the Civil War, then I'm done. Winston Churchill would not have won World War II if he hadn't been plastered. Like,
he was drinking.
Him save the world.
Do you think some of his decision making was a little more loose? Like inhibitions kind of drop, and you go, let's send a whole fucking bomber crew in the daylight over there to Dresden.
I think it definitely opened a row of doors and windows in his brain so that he saw a bigger perspective than someone who was maybe sober and narrow and going, let's look at the task at hand, whereas Winston's like, let's throw it all up in the air, see what we do here.
Yes.
Boom.
Let's run up the flagpole, see what sticks.
Yeah.
Or wait a minute.
And he, so there are certain people that it kind of helps.
It works for
them. And also some people, it doesn't adversely affect them. And I know that's a very taboo thing to say, but some people, the alcohol and drugs are good for them.
Do you know not everyone can draw Tippy the Turtle from the matchbook?
No,
and it's
exactly.
True.
Yeah.
Some people are cut out for it, and I think your math thing, I think math is part art. It's supposed to be this definitive science where, 1 + 1 is 2. That's where mine ends, by the way. Yeah. But there's an art to it.
Wait a second. Wait. 1 plus
1.
Oh, God. You lost me.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Some people aren't as good at it. Yeah. You're probably more a grammar guy.
I don't have the gift.
Yeah, the gift. It's but I think there's an art to it in looking at those numbers and instantly being able to figure it out, much like a painter would with a canvas and paint.
Yeah. Like I don't believe that everyone has a sense of humor. I don't believe that everyone can play basketball or everyone. I do not believe in anyone can do anything.
Right.
We're all equal.
Fuck
We're not. The reason that we can move forward is that people have different skills
people
and
that are
weaker
better at other things.
The world needs ditch diggers too,
Hey, there's an art to building a wall. There's an art to there is that some people don't get. I can't build things. I can't build things, and other people can.
Right.
So
2 parts cement, 1 part water.
Yeah, and look, I get drunk, and it doesn't really help me. But there's other people I know that they get drunk, and it really helps them.
And
they're better drunks.
Some people are really, really bad drunks.
Yeah, then there's some people that should not be drinking.
Yeah, and other people that are fine and status quo, and other people that all of a sudden becomes a beautiful mind. They're amazing. They're writing on the windows.
No, it happens.
Of course, it's scribble.
Yeah.
Dick pictures. Wait, is this math you're writing on? Well, then people could see this outside. What are you doing?
And then you said you were a better driver when you were drunk.
I said I was a better driver when I was drinking, not completely drunk. I would hit a point where I would be like, I'm not driving. But there was times where I would be over the legal limit of .08. And I knew I was, but I knew I would drive home doing the speed limit, staying in the middle lane or the right lane, and doing the speed limit and not weaving. Just keep my eyes on the road.
You would have that focus.
Not tailgating, focused. Because I knew if I got pulled over, I'd be fucked.
No texting or tweeting.
No. And
no
now
changing the radio station.
When I'm sober, I'm a fucking lunatic on the road.
Well, then there's your PSA. If you're going to, if you drink and drive scared.
Drive petrified.
If you're going to drive drunk, do it scared. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they do scare you with the commercials. They go, if you're drinking, you will get a DUI. And that just makes me go, wow, I better drive nicely when I'm drunk, so they don't catch me.
Radio off, window open, cool air hitting me.
That's it. Oh, the cold air hits you.
Radio off, really? It's tough to do.
There is nothing worse. But if you're drunk, you get lost in a song. If a great song comes on,
that's right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you
forget it. Immigrant song comes on, I'll drive into a school.
That will dump your pedal.
Boom.
That will make your foot go down a little bit on the gas pedal.
Who wants to be killed listening to Mares Eat Oats and Dozy Oats and Little Lambs Eat Ivy?
How many people do you think have died because they didn't like the song on the radio?
Oh, and went to change it?
How many people have died because they loved the song on the radio and put their foot there? Yeah!
Or that moment you just looked away because you were turning the radio.
That's what I'm saying. How many people have died because the song sucked on the radio, and you're like, oh, fuck this, and you're looking for something else.
Yeah.
How many people died and they weren't close enough to the button, so when they died, it was, like Barry Manilow's Ready to Take That Chance Again. Like, that was the soundtrack of them burning alive in their car. Ready to take a chance again. My skin is coming off.
The cops are trying to rescue you. They're backing away from the heat, and they're just saying, "Oh, Mandy, well, you came and you get." Well, we should don't even save them.
Yeah.
We should get some EMT guys on the phone. I bet you they have stories. Horrific car accidents with a horrendous song still playing.
We were going to cut the guy out of it, but Nickelback's Photograph was playing. I can't get close to that. Look at this photograph. Let him die.
The guy who might have cured cancer could have been killed when he was 6 because somebody didn't want to hear "Aha" again on the radio, and their car plowed into it.
Oh God!
Boom.
That is rough to think about. Right?
That's tough. Oh, I can't hear another Foreigner song.
Yeah. Shit.
Patton James in North Carolina says, we don't want health care because of the price we have to pay for it.
Serious politician guy is calling
No,
out.
it's all just laughs right now.
Serious politics guy.
I thought the whole point is that they're trying.
That it was a thing that was good, that people just...
Aren't they trying? Well, the other thing is once people get free health care, then they don't want it ever to go away, so... That's the other reason to stop it going through, because then it becomes this thing you can use. So
it becomes a right, just about.
Yes, exactly.
What did you think of the debates last night there?
I love any kind of presidential debate, because what as a comedian, and you know this too, Jim, when people have something.
I've interviewed enough.
No, you hang around with comedians, right, Jim?
Yes.
So,
Oh my God, it was brutal. One word.
People are never people are never more stiff and overthinking when they have something on the line. Like if you're doing a set and it's a Tuesday night and there's 80 people in the room, you're just loose and hilarious. Then if it's a Thursday and it's packed and your manager's like, the Letterman people are here to watch you, then you're
Why would they ever tell you that, by the way?
Just don't tell me. Let me just go up.
Don't tell
so
you
these guys, they've got the White House on the line. So they're trying to be loose, but their version of loose is so stiff. And like early on when Perry and Romney were going at each other with the Al Gore jab and then the Dukakis jab.
I was like watching Gladiator.
Yeah, but it was still came off so stiff because they would do the weird nervous laugh afterwards, like, I hope people don't think I'm an asshole for saying that. Which is a weird...
So you're saying it looked more Punch and Judy?
Yeah, but in a weird way, like that's why it's watching someone like Ron Paul or Michelle Bachmann, who in their heart, they know they're not going to get it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say, I'm just here to get my point across.
Pressure's off.
It was like, I loved having Al Sharpton when he would debate, because he's like, I'm not going to win. I'm just going to try to get enough votes that I can bargain for something I want down the line. So he would just say whatever and he was showing clips on his show of stuff he would say to people, and it was
just to
so
try to
brutal.
Yeah. I remember seeing him during those debates. And just being horrified and disgusted.
Yeah.
Because you knew he didn't have a chance in hell of winning. It's like, and why the fuck is he even up there? Because he's the guy.
He's there to stir things up. And he knows how to use politics. He knows how to use the form and the system to get. He doesn't want the White House. He wants the guy that wants the White House to need something from him. That's the strategy.
He knows how to work the system. But it's amazing he didn't been allowed to stay in the system over the years.
Well, and nobody's brutal back to him. That's the problem.
Right.
Is that he's an awful guy, and nobody just attacks him with the venom that they should. Like so he would attack them, and they would look weak because they don't hit back and just brutalize.
Because they don't want to be the guy that yelled at the black guy,
right?
And then lose their
exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
Like
that thing in the Laugh Factory.
Oh well. I was talking earlier about David Duke and how he went into politics and got
cheek implants.
He was he did.
Gorgeous man.
Just wonderfully beautiful. He got into politics and he was a bit right of the mainstream, let's say.
You think?
But he had kind of forsaken his grand wizard of the KKK beginnings and became a politician.
Right.
But MSNBC isn't going to have him on to talk about the debates, yet they have Al Sharpton on, who was one of the biggest race-baiting race card playing hatred mongers of the 80s with those lying Mason and Maddox and Tawana Brawley and hanging out Stephen Pagonis. And he never, ever has to pay for that. To this day, no one calls him.
Well, I bet that MSNBC would have David Duke on as a guest. Are you kidding? For the ratings,
but just like they would have, just like Fox would have Sharpton on as a guest, which they have, so they can argue with him.
Yeah,
I could see that, but they wouldn't. But even like Fox wouldn't put David Duke on to discuss the presidential debates. It's too out there. But he gets a free pass for his entire past. Reverend Al.
Well, white guilt's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Thank you. And that's all I was trying to say.
By the way, Fox is just as bad with stuff like race as MSNBC. Even though they're much more conservative, but they're just as frightened of being declared racist as
everybody's
MSNBC
petrified of being declared racist. Believe me. But
well, the code language since Obama got into the White House is gorgeous. The gymnastic twists and turns. They can't just go, I'm not comfortable with a black guy. So all the different Kenyan, exotic.
Right, yes.
It feels like Caribbean. There's a dry erase board in the basement of, and they have the word, they have the word nigger at the top. And then they go, we can't say this. Now I need, everyone just brainsome ideas. What can we say instead? Exotic,
keep throwing
good.
them at me.
Exotic
Keep throwing
is good.
them at me.
Kenyan, nice. Kenyan, all right. Nice, okay. Cotton picking, that's going to be a little clumsy. I don't know if we can do that one.
Yeah. Put it at the bottom of the board. We'll keep it up there.
Think about it.
What's so hilarious is, especially watching the Republican debates, is that they are. I mean, there's a Tea Party test, and I'm not saying that I disagree with everything the Tea Party says. I just the way they go about it is so the Tea Party is the right wing's annoying hippie assholes. They're their version of the women that are painting their breasts and dancing with tambourines. We're like, would you guys just grow
tone
the
it down?
Stop it.
I like some of their ideology, but they're no worse than the Congressional Black Caucus and a lot of this other bullshit on the other side.
Watching people that are beholden to a fringe group try to debate is so hilarious to me.
It really
have to,
is,
throw little bits of red meat out to them. That tension is, to me, just comedically is fantastic.
Watching them try to dance around the obvious is hilarious.
Yeah.
When you're watching somebody tap dancing around the obvious so they don't come off looking a certain way, but they want to step right in the middle of that.
Like for instance, the evolution thing. I honestly don't believe in their hearts any of those people up there disagree with evolution, but they can't just go, yeah, it's been tested for hundreds of years. Let's just move the hell on.
Watch the votes tumble away.
They have to go, well, it's not. They also can't just come out and go, God just made the whole thing. Yeah. So they have to find that weird middle ground, and it makes them sound crazy.
Yeah, there's a
not even the flip-flopping, just the verbal gymnastics to try to
twisting and turning. It's like watching one of those movies where the guy has to squeak through all those lasers to get to the vault. That's what he's doing.
I think we finally have the first generation of politicians who finally realize everything is on videotape now. Everything's recorded forever.
Everything.
So you have to be careful what you say, because they can literally make you debate yourself in 10 years
they
and
do
show
that.
What a hypocrite you are.
They were trying to do it on the debate last night, and I was
and
watching the clip didn't work. I actually was sitting there, and I said out loud to myself, I'm alone drinking, remember? And I sat there in front of the TV and actually went, why would it work? I swear to you. It's what we do here every time something doesn't work. Play the clip, we go, why would it work? So he goes, and this is you, a few years ago talking about this subject. We want you. And literally, he would have had to debate himself.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I hated that guy. Yeah, fuck him.
That guy was miserable.
I'm telling you,
I'm not that guy anymore.
After watching last night's debate, it will come down to either Romney or Perry, and the reason I can say this as a comedian is because they were the stiffest.
Right.
Because they have something to lose.
They looked presidential.
Everyone else is just, not even presidential, they looked like, do not fuck this up. So close. And Kane and Bachman, and they were just like, all right, so anyway, they just
Bachman,
were so
Turner,
loose.
Overdrive, they were
like,
just,
I knew.
Wow.
I remember in 2008.
I let you bombardier.
I knew
That's so rough.
I knew that McCain was going to lose in 2008 when I watched the Alfred E. Smith dinner, because Obama went up and he was kind of funny, but he was a little stiff, and he was over.